Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Lazy Bay Designs. On this tutorials I'm going to teach you how to make this beautiful keyhole dress. Please, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, kindly do so. Press the notification bell to notify you anytime I upload any video. And if you're done watching the video, please don't forget to hit the like button and then comment in the comment section. Let's get started. Okay, so the measurements I'll be needing for my dress are bust 38, waist 32. Okay, so let's get started. Bust 38 divided by 4 will give me 9.5. 9.5 plus 4 inches as my allowance, 2 inches that allowance, and then 2 inches as my sewing allowance, making 13.5. Okay, so this is a 13.5. Okay, so from shoulder to waist 18.5. 18.5. Okay, shoulder to underbust, shoulder to bust point 12 inches to underbust 16 inches. Bust point 12 inches and then underbust 16 inches. I will then join the point and then indicate my armhole and then my neckline. Okay, so the length of my neckline, I'll be using 3.5, and then the wideness is also 3.5. I will then draw my curve to connect the point, and then the length of my shoulder line, I'll be using 4.5. Okay, and then the wideness, I'll be using, I'll just indicate, I'll come down half an inch before I'll start below the half an inch and then come down 8.5. Then I'll draw my curve this way. Okay, so the next thing to do is to work with our bra cap. Okay, so please, from the center front, that is on our bust line, I will then leave half an inch, and then place my bra cap on it this way, making sure the points matches, and then it ends at the under bust as well. So I will just draw my curve this way. This is it. Okay, when it exceeds the under bust line, it's nothing. Okay, so this is all I'll be having. The next thing to do, okay, so the next thing to do is to indicate the hole or the space on our chest or in between our cleavage. So this is it. You just create the space in any wideness you want, like how big you want it. Okay, I don't want mine to be too big, so I'll just create something small. Okay, so this is all for my front. I wouldn't be placing any dots at the underbust because of the cap. Okay, so I'll cut out and then cut out my back as well. We'll be cutting the same thing on our fabric pieces. Okay, so this is it after cutting my back. Okay, so I'll be cutting out the marks here. Okay, so please, I'll be leaving half an inch as my sewing allowance. Okay. Okay, so this is it after cutting out everything. Okay, so we'll be cutting the same thing on our fabric pieces and then on our interfacing or stiff. Okay, so this is it after cutting out our main fabric and then interfacing. Okay, but for the back, I didn't cut any interfacing for the back. I rather cut out the main fabric instead. So the next thing we're about to do is to cut the pieces for my back cap. You then place a back cap on it this way. I measured from this tip to this tip and I had 9 inches. So I cut the pieces that will cover the back cap for me. The next thing to do is to indicate the center of the pieces. After indicating the center of the pieces, you then go ahead and then create a dart. Yes, so you locate the center of the pieces this way. Then I will create a dart, 1 inch here and then 1 inch here. I will then connect it to the center mark. Okay, so this is it. After stitching, so we go ahead and then stitch on the that's marked this way. Then we open. So we'll be cutting the same thing on our lining pieces. Okay, so we'll be cutting the same thing on our lining pieces and then we will apply the same formula to our lining pieces. Okay, so the next thing to do is to go ahead and then iron our interfacing together with our main fabric. We will then iron it together with our main fabric. Afterwards, we finish it with our bias. Afterwards, we finish it with our lining pieces this way. We just place it on it. Stitch half an inch at the neckline. Then we top stitch, and then half an inch at the chest area. You stitch half an inch at the neckline and then half an inch at the chest area. That is if the interfacing has been ironed onto the main fabric. Okay, so this is it after attaching our lining to the back and then to the underbust pieces and also our chest pieces. Okay, so the next thing we are about to do is to cover our back cap with our pieces. So we then take the pieces this way. Okay, so as you can see, this is it after stitching the 1 inch dart at the middle. So we then place it on it like this. then we pin to make the pieces fit the cap. Please, when you're pinning, make sure it fits perfectly. So you'll be pinning all round. You'll be pinning all round so that the pieces fit perfectly. Okay, so this is what I'll be having after pinning all round. The next thing to do is to go ahead and then trim the excess off. So after trimming the excess off, the next thing we will do is to do the same thing on our lining pieces. Okay, so you then unpin everything and then do exactly the same thing on our lining pieces. These are the pieces we made from covering our bra cap. The next thing to do is to apply our, okay, we will locate the center for these pieces. That's on the main fabric. You locate the center by notching. Okay, so we then apply our bias. Then we go ahead and then stitch on the bias. So after stitching on the bias, we will then cover it with our bra cap and then finish it with our lining. So this is it. We place the right side of the lining onto the right side of the bra cap, covered with the fabric this way, and then we top stitch only at the top area. Okay, so we will stitch only at the top area. And after attaching my lining and then top stitching, okay, so this is it. Same thing on the other side as well. We finished it with the lining. Okay, so the next thing to do is to attach our bias onto the underbust pieces. Okay, so we will then locate the center of this, where the bias ends. Okay, same thing here. Okay. We will then go ahead and then top stitch on the bias and then apply our bones. So this is it after attaching our bias to the underbust pieces. The next thing to do is to attach our bra cap to it, making sure the center matches it, so that the bias at the center matches it this way. Same thing here. Okay, so this is how we'll be attaching it. This point matches this point, then we stitch half an inch downwards. You stitch half an inch downwards. You will be stitching half an inch downwards all round to this end. You will do the same thing at the other side as well. Okay, so this is it after attaching our bra cap to it. The next thing to do is to attach our front chest this way. Okay, so this is it after shaping it according to our measurement. I'll then go ahead and then stitch on the lines marked and then finished my shoulder line as well. Fixing in my bones, the next thing to do is to attach our fabric onto our skirt this way. Okay, I wanted to design my skirt, so this is what I did. I divided my pieces into two and then inserted a lace in the middle. Okay, so this is what I'll be doing. I'll be pleating along. Okay, so this is what I'll be having after pleating my fabric onto my skirt. Okay, so the next thing I'll be doing is to go ahead and then finish the side of the skirt. After finishing the side of the skirt, I'll then fix my top onto my skirt this way and then fix my sleeves as well. Afterwards, our dress is ready. Okay, please, at this point, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, kindly do so. Press the notification bell to notify you anytime I upload any video. And if you're done watching the video, please don't forget to hit the like button and then comment in the comment section. See you all in our next video.